When I say that Contractors is like Call of Duty in VR, I really mean Contractors is like Call of Duty in VR.
The world is mine, nigga, get back. Don't fuck with my stack. The girl is whack.
Yo! Yo, what's up everybody? Today we're talking about Contractors VR. What's Contractors VR, you ask? Well, up until last week I didn't have the answer for that either because I had no idea this game existed until my friend was like,
"Hey, I see you're getting back into VR. Why don't you give this game a shot? It's like Call of Duty in VR." And I was like,
"What? Why didn't I know about this sooner?"
What the fuck?
If you have a keen eye, you'll notice we're back on the couch today. That's because a certain somebody, not gonna name any names here, pointed out that I was a Jakey clone, so.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like no?
I'm gonna get rid of the green screen. Nah, I just didn't really feel like setting it up, to be honest, but that aside, a resounding nobody cares about that. Let's get back into the subject. Just a little side note for this gameplay, you're not going to see me doing things like aiming down sights or looking through a scope. And if it looks like cropped in Call of Duty gameplay, it's because it's only recording out of my left eye. That's the best I got, so sorry. When I say that Contractors is like Call of Duty in VR, I really mean
Contractors is like Call of Duty
In VR.
Because as soon as you boot this game up, you're going to notice, oh hey look, there's a mod screen and there's a ton of Call of Duty maps actually ported into this game. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? What are you doing here? Call of Duty maps ranging all the way from World at War to even Ghost make an appearance in this. I mean, there's Modern Warfare 2 maps, Black Ops 1 maps, Black Ops 2 maps. If you can think of it, it may be in here. There's not like all of the maps, but there's a lot of variety in this game. Most notably, the Modern Warfare 2 ones. I'm a huge Modern Warfare 2 fan, as you may know, and these maps make an appearance in this game, and they're all faithfully ported over. And when I say ported over, they're not like some fan recreation. This is literally like the maps in their entire original intended state ported into this game with all the same baked lighting and everything. All of the visual elements are the same, all the scaling is the same, and they play a lot better than you'd expect. Because usually when you think of a VR game, you think that things gotta be tailor-made for VR. However, these Modern Warfare 2 maps almost feel like they were made for VR. You can take cover behind things that were previously just looking like little ledges that you could jump over, but on here, you can like physically take cover over them. Another cool element is just exploring these Call of Duty maps in VR because you kind of just get to see them in a different light. You'll notice little details that you wouldn't notice before that the developers probably didn't even think that anybody would even care about, but they're there now. And with the new added depth of virtual reality, they stick out. Like, I never really would have thought to just sit and look at all of the magazines on the shelf in the airport terminal library or look at the desktop wallpapers on the computer screens. Just simple things like the food tray sitting on the counter in Terminal's Burger Town restaurant just stick out so much more in VR, and it's a neat little touch. Also, all the ambient sounds are still included in these maps, like I really don't know how they faithfully ported over these maps to this degree, but it's very much appreciated. There's even some Halo 3 ones, which, again, play very well and better than you'd expect. There was a Halo 2 Battle Creek map, which didn't play very well. Obviously, it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all solution. The scaling on that was really weird, but for the most part, really fun stuff. Maybe this is the point that I should have started this video off with. The gameplay. It's really good. Like Call of Duty, there's almost like a COD 4 feel to it. There's a fast time to kill. Every time you kill, you get a little accolade pop up on the screen, whether it was a headshot or a double kill, etc, etc. There's a lot of little things in this game that make an appearance that don't in other VR games that I really appreciate, like small things. Hit markers. You know, it's nice to know when I actually hit an enemy but don't kill him. It's nice to have a little bit of feedback on the screen when you take an enemy out, and this game just showers you in it. In some cases, this can feel like a fast Call of Duty type of game. There's sprinting, jumping, sliding, but in other cases, it can feel like a tactical cover shooter when things get intense.
There's somebody upstairs. Just saw him running. Nice.
Conquerors, yeah. Scared me.
And I was like, ah.
No bad left behind.
Alright, that's it. Oh!
Good shit, Toast Malone. Thank you. Holy fuck.
The gunplay is, well, if you've played any VR game, it's just, oh, you're gonna knock my coffee off, aren't you? Gunplay brings you that classic only can be experienced in VR type of feel to it, and all of the guns feel really fun and satisfying to use. Most notably, when you get a headshot, man, it's so satisfying. There's definitely a learning curve that comes to this game that you'll experience if you haven't played a lot of VR shooters before, because you have to physically reload the gun yourself. You have to prime the chamber whenever you load a new magazine in. And all that can be really satisfying, and it can also be really funny to watch other people mess up on. It's really funny to experience the human error in this game as you're playing, because at the end of the day, it kind of just feels like a goofy VR game. And I can appreciate it for that. It's really sweet. The best part is when you die in a stupid way because you didn't grab the bolt to rechamber it or something. It can be really funny. Sometimes it's frustrating, but for the most part, pretty hilarious. Sometimes aiming down sights with some guns feel really weird. I attribute most of this to VR, but some stuff like the ACOG scope was just unusable for me. Whenever I tried to aim down like on something small like an ACOG scope, it just didn't work very well. And the scopes on the snipers could feel pretty awkward. Huge learning curve to that. Maybe that was just me, but I know from a couple of other people that sniping in VR is just kind of a weird thing. But it makes it all that more satisfying when you actually get it down. With a nice variety of modern weapons and World War II weapons, you got a lot to play with here. Your game modes kind of range from your standard search and destroy, team deathmatch, etc. But there's also a free-for-all gun game mode, which is really fun. However, it doesn't look like there's a free-for-all mode. Didn't really understand that one. The player base on this is naturally small because it's a VR game, so when you're setting up these servers, it would be nice if you could just play in a regular free-for-all instead of just a free-for-all gun game. Small nitpick there on the game mode side of things. There's also a co-op mode, but I didn't really get into that. It's more like a you just kind of shoot waves of enemies while you're capturing a flag or something type of game mode. There's also bots, which is nice to play with, but obviously your bread and butter's in the online multiplayer. I gotta give them huge props for this because one thing that I really don't like about Pavlov is it's just a huge mixed bag of what you're gonna get. One moment you're in a gun game, and then the next you're playing an hour-long team deathmatch on a custom map in space with 7 players. Nobody's keeping track of score or time, and it can feel a little disorganized at times. That's not to slight Pavlov too much, but that's just to mention that this game is set up pretty well. It's really easy to jump in and create your own server or join other people's, and in between rounds there's a pre-game lobby of sorts where you can wait for other players to join the game, and it's a good way to get new fresh games started and end them on a good note to get new players into it without it feeling like, oh, I just joined the server and I jumped into the middle of an hour-long game. All the games play out in short bursts, and it feels really organized. It makes it feel more like a competitive game than just a huge mosh pit of just kind of do whatever you want. This game's also cross-play with the Quest, which, oh my god, thank you so much. This has helped the player base on this game out immensely because without the Quest support, there wouldn't be a ton of players in this game, unfortunately. Which is a real shame because I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on this game, and it's really good. But at the end of the day, I think that just has to be attributed to virtual reality small player base in general. Luckily, now Quest players have a good, competent game to play. Even if the graphics aren't so good, the core gameplay is there, and that's what matters. Unfortunately, Quest players don't get those sweet custom maps, and man, I wish there was some way around this. I don't know if it's just an actual bandwidth thing with the Quest power, or if it's like a licensing issue with Oculus's store, but man, they're really missing out on those custom maps. I feel like that's a huge draw to this game for me, and I would be using that as a big selling point, so it's really unfortunate that Quest players don't get that. But they do get a pretty sweet game, so there you go. Well, we went over a lot of good stuff here, and I guess I could come up with a few negative things. Not a whole lot, but maybe just a few criticisms I have about the game in general. There is the naturally small player base, which they can't really help, but what I'm trying to say is if you want to get into a good VR game, you need to jump onto this one because it's really good. I played for like 4 hours straight yesterday. It's really solid. But the first thing I seemed to notice right off of the bat was the lack of a party system. I had to like go on a third-party chatting app with my friend to be able to link up and actually join the same servers at the same time, or to let each other know that, hey, I'm creating this server, you can go ahead and join it. There didn't really seem like there was a way we could party up and then go join a server, so we kind of had to manually do that party thing ourselves, and then once we were in the game, we may end up on other teams, who knows, so then we have to manually swap teams, and that only works if they're balanced. So it would have been nice if there was some sort of a solid party system in this game. While all of the guns are fun to use and seemingly well balanced for the most part, for the love of God, please stop giving me hit markers with sniper rifles, at least the bolt action ones. I can't express how frustrating this point is. It's so hard, it's so tricky to use these snipers from a distance, and when you finally line up that shot from across the map and actually nail it, and it just turns out to be a hit marker, it makes sniping extremely frustrating. In fact, it's actually easier to just run around and barrel stuff people with a sniper rifle and no scope them, so kind of defeats the purpose there, doesn't it? You can just cheese people from halfway across the map with an assault rifle. Just bump the sniper power up a little bit more, please, thanks. Oh shit!
You see this? You see this? You see this?
Hey, boss!
This is what happens when you mess with us, alright?
Hey, boss!
boss!
Also, when playing a game mode like Search and Destroy, it would be nice if we could just spectate our teammates. I know this is a small thing, but I don't even know if this is possible in VR. But when you die in a game mode like Search and Destroy, you get sent to this little intermission section, which is kind of like the pre-game lobbies, except with no shooting range. So you're just sitting in this little court throwing basketballs. Could we at least get like a shooting range in this so we could practice guns or something? The game's a shooting game. What are we gonna put in this intermission lobby? You know, basketballs. All in all, I think this game's really fun, and whether you're picking it up on a Quest or a PC, you should definitely consider giving this one a shot because it's really good. On Steam, I got it on sale for like 10 bucks, and it was honestly so nice that I had to buy it twice. I bought a copy for a friend. All that being said, if you guys are looking for a good VR multiplayer shooter, this is one to go for. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out some of my other VR videos, and maybe even just some other videos in general. I do a lot of gaming stuff here, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. You can check out my Patreon if that's something you want to support directly. Shout out to Exeat, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.
Were shit talking me, and I was like, and that's why I got more kills than everybody?
Wow. You're really good at video games.
Suck my dick!
A little bit more, please, thanks. Also, the game's accessibility options are pretty good. You can aim with your left hand or your right hand, which I appreciate because I'm kind of left-handed with guns, and there's some comfort stuff, which is cool, but you can't teleport because this is a locomotion game, so you better get your VR legs, baby. But luckily now, Quest players have a really good, competent game to play. Even if the graphics aren't so good, the confident... What else do I gotta say, dude? My battery's dying. I gotta wrap this video up.